I bought my first property in the Finchley area in 2008. And so I've sort of lived here and been familiar with the area for 14 years now. And anyone who knows Finchley would have seen Martyn Gerrard offices. I relocated to Nigeria in 2014. A few years later, my wife and I decided to rent our first property out, and Martyn Gerrard was round the corner from us, so it was a natural choice. We've then rented our second property out last year, and given the experience we had with Martyn Gerrard with the first property, it was natural that we followed suit with the second property, which we did. And we came into contact with Hussein, and the rest is history. What impresses me the most about Martyn Gerrard is the professionalism. Martyn Gerrard has people that sort of specialize in different areas. And I like that personally. I mean, yes, we do have estate agents who are sort of a one-man show or one or two-man show or one or two ladies show where you've got one person that sort of does everything. But with Martyn Gerrard, you've got the lettings team, you've got the property management team, you've got the renewals team, you've got the guys who handle the sort of inventory and checkout. So it's a really professionally run company, and it as a landlord, as a client, I like that, and it gives me a sense of comfort. We've used other estate agents in London. I think a comparison to Martyn Gerrard, what I would say is Martyn Gerrard strike the right balance between your sort of community estate agent at one end of the spectrum versus a sort of big corporate agent. We all know the sort of big corporate agents out there who are very cold, and you almost feel like you're just another statistic. And then at the other extreme, you've got your sort of community agent who sort of everyone in the neighborhood knows type of thing. I think Martyn Gerrard strike the right balance. It's a professionally run company, but also they give you that personal touch. So that's a big sort of positive for me in how I would compare Martyn Gerrard to other agents. With regards to tenants, I mean, I think, my experience has been excellent. We are 4 years in with this, the properties we have with Martyn Gerrard, no issues at all. The job of the agent is to mitigate as much of the risk as they can. Yes, you qualify tenants, you do reference checks and background checks and what have you. You structure the contract in the best way possible to protect the landlord. And, you have your contingencies if things go wrong. There may be little niggles here or there, but the job of the agent from a client's perspective is that I'm protected as much as possible. So that's a sort of worst case scenario. But also, I truly believe, and, from experience, I think it's been borne out that Martyn Gerrard, I think, attracts a certain type of tenant. I think they qualify the tenants really well. I think the reference checks are very thorough. And so I'm very comfortable if they put someone forward and say, look, we've gone through the process, we've done all the necessary checks, and we believe this is a good tenant for your property. Anyone who knows the Finchley area, Finchley Central, North Finchley, Mill Hill, the Martyn Gerrard office is everywhere, almost every high street. In Finchley Central, next to my apartment, so my apartment's on the corner of Regents Park Road and East End Road. It's like there are two Martyn Gerrard offices like next to each other, Like there's one on the other side of the road, and then there's the property management office at the end of Ballard's Lane. So it's like 3 or 4 offices. So anyone who knows the area knows that yes, they are a local agent. Is that important? Of course. London is one of these cities where a property at one end of one street is completely different value to the one at the other end of the street, because the one at the other end has got a school next to it and no one wants to live next to a school, or you've got all these peculiarities in every area on every road. And I think having a genuinely local agent that knows all the intricacies, I think plays a big part. You get some of these big agents based in Hampstead who come here thinking they could get £1 million a week for a 2-bed flat, and it doesn't happen. So yeah, no, of course, having a local agent is crucial, I think. With Hussein specifically, that has left a big impression on me. I think that's how I would describe him. I mean, he's someone that, from a client's perspective, you feel that you're his top priority, and that's a really, I couldn't pay him a bigger compliment, really. I mean, he's a really, really lovely guy, very charismatic. Even from it, from our first conversation, it was like we had known each other for however long, and that's really important. I think an agent oftentimes has to react to things that are unforeseen. Any job that you have that involves relationships with people, I think it's really important to have a sort of personal touch. I mentioned earlier about some of these big corporate agents and landlords feeling like you're just another statistic. I think in this sort of industry, it's really important that the agent makes an effort, at the bare minimum, to get to know the person. Yes, I'm a landlord. Yes, there are tenants, but to get to know the people ultimately leaves a good impression, yes, but enables you as an agent to do your job better. There are a lot of things, Hussein will call me about a specific issue. We'll get to chatting, we'll chat. And through those chats, he gets to know me to the point where if he talks to the tenant and they say something, he'll immediately say, no, Deji won't like that. He won't like that. I can't, there are things that there are decisions that he'll make on my behalf based on how well he's got to know me. And so that helps him in his job. So absolutely, he goes above and beyond, which is a great quality to have. I can tell that it's genuine. He's not just trying to put it on, that's how he is. And it's a great quality to have because, yes, it makes the landlord feel, good, but also it helps him do his job. And it's no surprise that, my house that he's just rented, it's a massive deal. It's a 3-year contract, high rental amount. It's a massive deal, huge deal. And, all credit to him. He put a lot of work into it, more than I could have asked. Absolutely. This business essentially is about relationships. It's about relationships. Estate agents are in the business to get instructions, whether that's to sell or to rent, and then to offer those properties out to prospective tenants. A tenant views a property, likes the property, rents the property. Eventually that tenant will move out And the landlord then has to make a decision. Okay, do I give the property back to that same tenant, or did I not like the experience, so I should look for another agent? So it's a business that's inherently about relationships. So any agent who is personable, who is charismatic, who is genuine, who is authentic, who works hard, who gains the trust of the landlord, any agent that exemplifies those characteristics is going to be successful, because you're going to get repeat business. Landlords are going to keep coming back to you. Vendors are going to keep coming back to you. You grow your network, you grow your property instructions, and that's how you become a successful agent. So, this is a people business. It's a relationship business. It's like a restaurant. You go back to the restaurant that serve you really well. They make you feel special. They know your name. They know your favorite dish on the menu, and that makes you feel good. So you go back. So estate agency, in my view, is a similar type of thing. And Hussein exemplifies that perfectly. I would always call him. And if I say that, the next landlord will probably say that, and that's how agents become successful, I guess. The reason I'm giving this testimonial is it is the least I could do for Hussein. I've got a really busy few days. I had to find time to do this for Hussein because of the job he's done for me. So when he called me and asked me, it was a no-brainer. And so it is a pleasure to do this testimonial for him, because not only is he a good agent, he's a good guy, he's a good person. A friend of mine has just sold a flat in Finchley with Martyn Gerrard, equally had a great experience. So not only would I recommend Martyn Gerrard, I have already done that and will continue to do that.